hoping for a sender in particular?
You are asking me to bow down to Carly and Sonny?
Trust me, dude. You do not want to know.
She had a fraction of your optimism. That woman's life was never the same the moment you set foot in this town.
I am loving the Tracy show lately. First, Tracy versus Martin. He called her a porcupine, and honestly, who could blame him? Then Tracy takes on Sonny, telling him to take care of Drew, which is just classic Tracy. Then there was that golden moment with Tracy hugging Jason, priceless. And now we've got Tracy versus Carly. Oh, this is gonna be pure entertainment. Now, as for Willow, what happened to her? She's completely lost the plot. Nina really needs to shake some sense into her because there's no way Willow loves Michael like she insists. There's a term for women like her, and it starts with a B. And Drew? Seriously, bow down to Carly and Sonny. Sounds like something he'd say. I hope they figure out a way to keep Michael away from Willow and make sure she doesn't get the kids. Drew's had way too much control already. Willow's basically brainwashed by Drew at this point, and Drew's acting like he's done nothing wrong. It's time for Willow to find out about his affair with Nina, sooner rather than later. The longer she stays in the dark, the worse it'll be for her. But let's talk about Tracy for a second. She's always delivering, and I love it. As for Sonny, Carly, and Jason, they've been way too soft on Drew and Willow. If it were my kid, no way would they be making decisions. Considering the hospital knows someone tried to kill Michael, the administration should take over Willow's proxy, and the police should be all over this. Willow's a nurse with access to both the patient and the drugs. Someone needs to investigate. Can someone just take care of Willow and Drew already? Seriously, if not, I'd love to see Carly and Nina team up to take Drew down. That would be so much more fun than them fighting each other again. And, of course, I'm Team Carly all the way. I like the actress who plays Tracy, but let's be real, Tracy is egotistical and far from perfect. She's got plenty of mistakes in her past, so maybe she should stop acting like she's on a moral high horse. If she had issues with Carly, she should have said something way earlier, not when Carly's son is in the hospital. Tracy thinks everything she says is gospel, but she's not exactly a saint herself. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Let's take a stroll through history, shall we? The Quartermaines? No better than the Corinthoses. The only difference is that people have short memories. If you've been watching GH since the Steve and Audrey days, you know Edward was as ruthless as they come. The only thing that made him any different was Leela. And then there's Tracy, liar, blackmailer, cheater. She once withheld her father's heart medication just to fight over inheritance, forged Alan's will with Luke, and framed Alexis for an accident she caused herself. And let's not forget Monica. She cheated on both Jeff and Alan and made Leslie Weber's life a living nightmare. Leslie was practically a saint compared to the rest of them. Alan tried to kill Monica and Rick. AJ shot his own father in the back after Alan threatened to expose his kidnapping of Michael. And let's not even get into Alan's many illegitimate children, just like Edward, but nobody really talks about that. Now, yes, Sonny's a killer, and Jason's no saint either. He chose that life, but Jason's smart. He's nobody's fool, except it looks like Tracy might have just played him. And let's be real here, Monica would want Michael to have his family around him. So this whole thing, I don't think it's about doing it for Carly and Sonny. I think Jason did it for Michael, to make sure he had a family to lean on. But hey, it's a soap opera, and where else would you get all this drama? As for Drew, aka Uncle Whiskers, he needs to zip it and stay out of things that don't concern him. Seriously, keep his big mouth shut. I'm hoping Sonny pulls through because, honestly, I can't imagine the show without him. Tracy? She hates Drew but loves Michael, which means she could bring down Drew and Willow's world in one swoop. I say she releases that video, takes back Leela's ring from Willow, and stops letting her get away with being unfaithful to Michael. Just wait until Willow finds out about Nina and Drew's little affair. That's going to blow up in their faces, and I cannot wait to see that fallout. And let's be real, Sasha and Cody, not buying it. They need to get their own DNA test. I'm still convinced Sasha isn't Robert's daughter. Holly probably had the test altered, just to make sure the paternity came back in Robert's favor. I'm absolutely done with Willow and her holier-than-thou attitude. Seriously, how far the saint has fallen, pathetic. And Drew, don't get me started on him, just disgraceful. Tracy, honey, now is not the time to be bringing up everyone's past mistakes, okay? As for Chase and Brooklyn, let's hope they get some good news from Dr. Navarro. Wouldn't it be great to see Brooklyn deliver a healthy Quartermain baby, and Chase finally become a dad? It would honor Gregory, make Violet a cousin, and bring some much-needed joy to the family. I can't for the life of me figure out why Willow doesn't just stay at the gatehouse. She's with her kids, and when she goes to work, the nanny takes over. It's not that complicated. But no, let's make this whole thing unnecessarily dramatic. Why would they move in with Nina, of all people? The woman lives in an apartment, not a mansion. Just because someone moves in doesn't mean the space suddenly magically expands. And seriously, Willow is the worst. Always has been. I'm genuinely hoping Carly gets custody of the kids. She's always been the one who's actually had their best interests at heart. Speaking of Carly, how many times is she going to get this same speech? It's like every year someone gets out the Carly's the worst soapbox and starts lecturing her. Newsflash, Carly and Monica made peace years ago when Carly and Jason were getting married. Did Tracy miss that whole episode? I guess so. Carly's grown up. She's made her mistakes, owned them, apologized, and even become friends with people she once hated. But the writers just love to drive this old drama around like a dead horse. It's beyond tiresome. Now, let's talk about Tracy practically handing Sonny a hit list on a silver platter, telling him to kill Drew. Sonny hasn't done any mob business in ages. He's over it. He wants out, but it's like there's a whole flock of vultures circling around Port Charles, just waiting for him to slip. Carly was all ready to call Diane, but the medical proxy should have been sorted out in the court papers. But hey, why make things simple, right? Honestly, I want Willow to get her kids back, but she needs some serious therapy first. And Drew? Yeah, he needs to go. But I bet they'll spin it like he was brainwashed into doing everything through Cyrus, maybe even hypnotized. That's their big twist to save him. Classic. We need some happiness in this mess. Enough with all the death and hatred. Let's just get some peace for a change. And Sonny? He needs to deal with Drew, because the guy's got way too much influence over Willow. If she keeps pushing, she's going to find out exactly what it means to mess with Sonny and Carly. Trust me, that's not a road she wants to go down. The drama continues, and honestly, it's hard to keep up with all the twists and turns. Let's start with the Gio is not Brooklyn and Dante's son. He's Brooklyn and Cody's son. Like that's some shocking revelation. I mean, who didn't see that one coming, right? As for Tracy, her whole Monica charade is just lovely. Using Monica as a cover to prevent anyone from getting their hands on Michael's children. Classy, because naturally, if Monica knew what Tracy was up to, she'd probably tell her to hand the kids over to Willow. But of course, we'll never know, since the actress who played Monica passed away. May she rest in peace, because seriously, she didn't deserve to be part of this mess. Now, about Brooklyn and Dante. Yep, they had their camp fling and boom, out comes Giovanni. We all know Lois is in the know, big surprise there, and Olivia. Well, she's a little behind the 8 ball, considering she's close friends with Lois, but has no clue. And then there's Sonny. Sonny, who's paying for Gio's school, but what does he actually know? Is he just blindly cutting checks, or is there something more to the story? He's so family-oriented, but if Giovanni's his grandson, Wouldn't he want a little more involvement than just the occasional check? Clearly, Sonny knows something, because why else would he be paying? Dante's out of the loop, though, which makes me wonder who's actually in the know. Seriously, I've said no's so many times now, it's starting to sound like a broken record. Also, let's just address this Tracy situation for a second. What legal rights does she have to keep the kids from Willow, or from Sonny and Carly? None. Tracy has no claim here, so can we just move on already? But hey, credit where it's due. Chase actually deserves a little applause for being a real friend to Willow. He let her open up about her life, and reminded her that she's a strong woman who should think for herself. He even pointed out that shutting Michael's parents out isn't doing anyone any favors. If only someone had given Willow this advice earlier, maybe things wouldn't have gotten so out of hand. But of course, we still have Drew lurking around, so here's hoping he doesn't ruin everything by stirring the pot even more. Honestly, I don't like any of this. I have to admit, Nina's got a point. She knew exactly what the Q's and C's were up to and, for all her faults, was trying to protect her daughter, even if it's in the most selfish way possible. And Carly? She's got that mama bear energy, no surprise there. If she could, she'd probably snap Willow in half for keeping her son away. And Drew? Well, we all know Drew's not helping Willow think straight. She never wanted to take the kids from Michael. She never wanted to hear about that while he's lying there, possibly dying. Michael and Willow should have just handled this through lawyers and stayed out of everyone else's messy drama. But of course, that's not how it works. Just messy. Nina had a real heart-to-heart with Willow today. Well, sort of. Nina, ever the sage, pointed out that Drew has Willow wrapped around his finger. She told Willow straight up that it's time to stop parroting Drew's take on everything. Michael, his parents, the kids. It's all one big mess, and they're supposed to be in it together, not against each other. Oh, and Nina wasn't done. She also told Willow that using Michael's medical crisis as a bargaining chip against his parents is downright cruel. Newsflash, Willow. It's also wrong for Michael's family to keep you from the kids. You might want to reflect on that. And then Nina went after Tracy, of course. How does Tracy sit there, judging Carly for her past, when she's practically a stone wall when Carly begs for help with Michael? Honestly, how can Tracy hold onto this cold, heartless approach when Michael's in a life-or-death situation? She needs to get a grip because, spoiler alert, she has no legal claim to those kids. Tracy's got this warped vision of herself as the voice of reason, but someone needs to remind her that she's playing a dangerous game with the kids' lives. Tracy should have dropped the pretense and told Willow the hard truth. If you want to see your kids, you're going to have to give Michael's family medical proxy. Period. It's so simple, yet so hard for Willow to see. But then again, Tracy's in her element here, isn't she? She's actually doing something right for once. She knows Willow can't make the right decisions for the kids right now, and she's fully aware that if she calls Willow's bluff, it'll expose the truth. Will Willow hold firm and keep the Corinthos away from their son? Or will she cave like everyone expects? Tracy's playing the long game, making sure the Corinthos know exactly how far Willow is willing to go. Meanwhile, Nina's got it all wrong. She's the one who pulled Drew into this mess to help her win Willow over. Now, well, it's a disaster. The Drew-Willow situation has backfired spectacularly. Let's not forget Drew's not-so-distant past with Shiloh. I'm starting to wonder if Drew's vendetta is the real driver here, and Willow? Well, she's just collateral damage in Drew's need to control everything. Michael catching on fire, just too convenient. Either Drew's got a hand in it, or someone else does. Either way, it's a mess. As for Tracy, well, there's a theory brewing. She's keeping the kids away from everyone just to get a stranglehold on ELQ. Is that the endgame? Maybe. And to wrap this all up, Nina, this is on you. You made your bed with Drew. Now enjoy the fallout. The drama continues. It's a classic win-win scenario. Willow doesn't get her kids, and Michael gets discreetly packed off to rehab. Perfect, right? Sonny and Carly will eventually be so relieved by this, because honestly, they were never really keen on Drew being around Michael's kids anyway. So off they go, to be with Jason at the Quartermain estate. It's practically fate, isn't it? These recent episodes really highlight how the past keeps haunting everyone, especially those still living with the consequences of their choices. Carly? Well, she arrived in Port Charles like a wrecking ball, and her string of bad decisions really left their mark, particularly on the Quartermains. Now, Tracy's taking a trip down memory lane to give Carly and Sonny a little lesson. And Jason, now a single parent, he's making decisions that reflect how much his perspective on family has shifted. Because, losing Sam and suddenly being on his own with kids will do that to you. But let's not forget Nina. For all her past mistakes, and let's be real, there are plenty. In the last few days, she's actually stepped up to try to talk some sense into Willow. Who would have thought? Now let's talk Willow. Seriously, girl, get off the pity train. You've really made a mess of things, especially when you slept with your husband's uncle. You brought this on yourself. Also, here's a fun little family tree revelation. If Gio really is Dante and Brooklyn's kid, then surprise. He's a Corinthos, a Quartermain, and a Falconary. That's a lot of family drama packed into one tiny person, huh? And let's not overlook the true MVP of this chaos, Tracy. She wasn't pulling any punches when she called Carly out, and honestly, she's spot on. Carly's been nothing but trouble for the Quartermains since day one. Remember when she kept AJ from his son? Or when she cruelly denied Alan and Monica the chance to have a relationship with their grandson, Michael? Classic Carly. Nina, also 100% right, by the way. The truth hurts, but someone's got to say it. Yesterday, I was furious with Tracy for holding those kids illegally. But surprise, I've had a change of heart. Turns out, Tracy's got a point. Willow and Carly are letting their emotions run wild, and guess what? The kids don't need to witness that mess. Willow is slowly coming around, realizing empathy might actually be a better approach, and I'm hoping she starts tuning out Drew's nonsense. As for Carly, though, well, she just threatened Tracy, and we all know how that's going to end for her, badly. Tracy won't back down, and those who have been watching long enough get it. Love Carly, but she was a wreck back in the day. Maybe next time, Plan B should be kidnap him. And Nina? Finally, she's stepping up as a mother and giving Willow the best advice she's ever had. Seriously, it's about time. I'm honestly proud of her. Whether Willow listens to any of it is a different story, though. She finally visits Michael, but surprise, surprise, it's not for the right reasons. Michael deserves so much better than that. I'm having a proud Nina moment right now. She sounded like a real mom, offering sound advice. Too bad Willow kept saying, but Drew said, "Oh Willow, listen to your mother, not that guy." And speaking of confusion, how is it okay for Carly and Sonny to keep Willow's kids from her, which, by the way, kicked off this whole drama? But when Willow does it back, suddenly it's cruel. It's the same logic as when everyone freaked out about Nina keeping Sonny from his kids, but it was fine for Carly to keep Nina away from hers. Carly does it? Heroic, because she loves with her whole heart. Anyone else does it to Carly? Well, then it's evil. Carlyland logic is a real head-scratcher. As for Joss, she's such her mother's daughter, can't keep her mouth shut. And now Cyrus knows she's after him. Guess she's going to be a target without even being in the hospital. And Willow? Well, after getting her itch scratched by Drew, now she's all big and tough. Hilarious. I can see Liz and Lucky getting back together eventually, not now, but in time. The poor woman just has the worst luck with men. Nina gave Drew a good piece of her mind, but she really needs to do the same with Willow. And Willow, honestly, she's just wrong for keeping the parents away from their seriously injured child, no matter her reasons. It's like what Valentin did with Charlotte. Kids should never be kept away like that. Let Michael heal, and then, by all means, go back to your divorce drama. Sure, protecting your kids is a mother's job, but these kids are loved by so many people. They're safe, no matter who they're with. Well, I guess with those devastating fires, we probably won't be seeing a new episode of GH anytime soon, right? But you know it would be amazing? A tribute to Monica, maybe a little throwback to when Alan gave her the house. Or better yet, how about the beginning of Michael's storyline? That would be fantastic. I never got to watch from the very beginning all the way to where we are now, so I would love to see Monica again. Maybe not from the start, but hey, let's give her the tribute she deserves. The GH cast has lost so much this past year, and now with more heartache this month. So how about we take a stroll down memory lane for once? Just a thought. As for the custody situation with Wiley and Amelia, it really all comes down to what the order actually says. In general, no one is locked into a custody order if everyone's on the same page about changing things. But if they can't agree, well, they'll have to stick to what's written. If the order says Willow can't be around the kids, then a verbal agreement is out of the question. She'd need a new court order to even look at them. Otherwise, as long as whoever holds actual custody agrees, she's free to have them whenever she wants. But of course, we still don't know who has temporary custody. Just throwing that out there. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.